I continue now in my second video my journey into the fossils. There are three types of fossils. One is compression fossils, and impression fossils, and putrefaction fossils. In fact, I have a collection of miniature videos which explains to you how these three different categories of fossils are formed. The compression fossils are formed when the large vegetation, like forests let us say, they just go underground. What do you mean by that underground? Because the earth is highly dynamic. There will be earthquakes, there will be volcanoes, so many things, and large forests go underground, and miles of this debris as well as the mud, rocks, etc. just pile up. So those things get compressed so much that it becomes coal. So coal like this is a compressed fossil. You might have heard about the lignite corporation in Tamil Nadu. This is lignite. It is also a form of coal, but it is very less dense, because the vegetation here is not as compressed as coal. That's why it doesn't burn. This lignite doesn't burn just like coal. It has to be augmented to get burnt. That's why it is crushed into nodules and made into some kind of nodules for commercial use. But this is also a compressed fossil. I have two examples of impression fossils. Here you see the figure of the leaf, but the leaf is not contained here. The leaf which has fallen over here, it is compressed so that it has left its own mark here. So this is the kind of a compressed image of the leaf I have over this mud. Next, another thing I have is on the limestone. So this is from a kind of a stalactite and stalagmite caves. So here also you see a fossil, an impression, but the peculiarity is that it has got some kind of a pigmentation. Because this is a limestone and it is white, that pigmentation appears like this. Sometimes I was lucky to collect fossils on a seashore. I went to Tamil Nadu near Arikamedu. There I was taken about few miles away, where these marine fossils were available. In fact, sometimes it so happens there that these waves from the ocean, they just throw these things on beach. So these are all marine fossils which I collected there. Imagine a rapidly flowing river. It carries lots of soil, the clay or alluvial soil as you read, etc. A rapidly flowing river also carries a lot of vegetation. At the bottom of the river, some vegetation, imagine some kind of a vegetation, some kind of a leaf, and around which the alluvial soil, they just gets caught, and it just rolls over and gets stuck to it. So as it just flows down, it becomes a kind of a lump of clay, and this kind of a lump solidifies. Not only that, over the edges it also becomes a stone. That's how this kind of a nodule, also called as a river nodule, is formed, and inside which you find this kind of sometimes you find this kind of a vegetation. I was fortunate enough to collect this. The third form of fossil formation is putrefaction. Putrefaction means a kind of imagine a kind of a life form. It may be a wood, it may be some animal, it may be something on which some kind of a silicon deposits are there. So 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers deposits are there. Under such kind of intense pressure, what happens is that the carbon molecules in the specimen, they just get replaced by the silica and other types of minerals also. Then it becomes a kind of a stone. That's how putrefaction means making a stone. So this piece of wood has been formed. In fact, I have got a better specimen which has preserved the bark of the tree, but in fact it has become stone. This is actually the putrefaction. You must have seen a wonderful movie called Jurassic Park. In the beginning of the video of the Jurassic Park, you will also see that they show some animated film. In the film, a mosquito goes and sits upon the dinosaur and sucks the blood. Then it goes and flies to a gum tree. The gum in the tree flows down and catches that mosquito. And subsequently, both the tree as well as this kind of a gum with the insect, it goes down in the upheavals of the earth and it forms a coal mine. The workers go there and fetch that mosquito and call it as amber. In fact, I have here this amber, 2 pieces of amber, and this amber always it is translucent, and this particular amber has an insect inside. I was lucky enough to have this wood fossil. In fact, from a log of this type, it has been cut into a small slice like this. When I looked at it, there is also a gum here and also a gum here. In fact, it is not actually the gum now. Because of the fossilization, it is amber. I have taken you through a kind of a marathon exhibition of the fossils collected by me. I hope it was interesting to you. It has been a kind of an endeavor for me to collect fossils, so that, as I told you in my first video, that evolution is such a kind of an impact it had on me, that's how I wanted to have these fossils. But having a fossil with me, it is a kind of a reminder for me that I am living in that kind of a great giant process of evolution on earth. So I have shared this experience with you. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.